Hey there tech fans, Rick here again with another review, and today I have the Orei UHDS-212 multi-port bidirectional HDMI switcher. Now this product is really unique because normally a switcher is a 1x2 or a 2x1, and this product is actually both in a single product. And what I mean by that is, you can connect a single media device up to the input of this and two monitors on the output, and tap the button at the top of the switcher to decide which of those two monitors displays the content from that media device. Or you can flip it around and connect two media devices up to the input and a single monitor on the output, and again use that button to decide which of those two media streams is displayed on that single monitor. So it's really versatile and it can be used in a lot of different situations where you need to control the connection between your media device and your monitor. Now before I get too deep into the review, I always like to start with an unboxing of a product just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and then I'll take a closer look at the switcher itself and explain the connections and indicators and the buttons, and then I'll actually come back and point out a few key things that really separate this from other switchers you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you open up the box, there's not a lot inside the box. You'll find the switcher and a full instruction manual that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and all the details you need to understand about this particular product to use it correctly. Now the product itself supports 4K ultra high definition media content, which is one of the latest standards out there for content. It'll work great if you have a high resolution media device and a high resolution monitor. It's also CEC compliant, and it supports HDR video as well. So all the videos you're going to want to play with HDR work just fine in the switcher. The other thing that's really important about it is that it's both HDMI 1.4 and HDCP 2.2 compliant, so any copy protected media content you'd like to pass through the switcher will work just fine. Now if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at the unit and then I'll come back and point out some of the really unique things that this product provides. The switcher features a heavy-duty plastic enclosure, which makes it really durable and very lightweight. On the top of the unit, you'll find a button in the center that's used to change the relationship between the inputs and the outputs. You'll also find two LEDs labeled 1 and 2. One of those will be on when you make your initial connection, indicating which of the current inputs is selected for the output. When you tap that button, it'll switch to the other one. So for example, if number 2 is lit up, this input is currently being sent to the output. If you tap it, number 1 will light up, showing you this input is now being sent to the output. On the one end, you'll find two full-sized HDMI ports, HDMI 1 and HDMI 2, and on the rear, one more port labeled HDMI. And the reason that one's labeled HDMI is because you can use this in one of two modes. Standard would be to connect two media devices to the input with a monitor on the output and use the button to switch between which of these is sent to that monitor, or you can flip it around and connect a single media device here with two monitors on the output and use that button to decide which of those two monitors displays that media content. On the bottom of the unit's a nice rubber pad that protects the surface you put it down on. It'll also help it from skidding around on that surface. And that's pretty much it. The unit doesn't require any external power. All the power required to operate the electronics inside as well as the LEDs is sent from the connection of that HDMI to your devices. I hope that closer look was helpful. Now here are a few key things to keep in mind when comparing the Orei UHDS-212 switcher to other 1x2 or 2x1 switchers you may be considering. And the first thing has to do with resolution. This product fully supports 4K ultra high definition resolution at 60 frames a second. A lot of the other switchers on the market may not support 4K, or if they support 4K, it may only be 30 frames a second, and that can greatly reduce the resolution that you'll enjoy on your monitor from your media device. So 4K at 60 frames a second is really important. CEC control is also something you want to look for, and that's consumer electronics control. It's a way of using a single remote to control multiple devices that are all interconnected. This fully supports CEC standards. The other thing you want to look for is HDR support. Most of the modern media content today will have an HDR component. If the switch can't handle that, it actually will give you trouble trying to display that content on the monitor. It may actually change the resolution. It'll certainly change the way that the video looks on that particular monitor. Two other really important things are the certifications. This one is HDMI 1.4 and HDCP 2.2. The HDCP 2.2 is extremely important because that deals with copy protection, and if the switch is not HDCP compliant or it's a lower version of compliance, it may actually block the content from being passed through the switch to your monitor. So all of those things together really are important considerations when you're looking at a switcher. The final thing I mentioned is the fact that this can be both a 1x2 and a 2x1 switcher. So instead of worrying about having the exact right single input, dual output, or dual input, single output, you can buy one switcher and it'll work in both of those situations, so it makes it incredibly versatile. Anyway, that's all I had for today, so hopefully you found this helpful, and until next time, stay nerdy.